What kind of place is this?
Living with your ex and your new girlfriend. Oh, wow.
So,
oh my God.
Your date has arrived.
Thank you. I will let you know if your services are needed.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
sir. I shall see you later.
Thank you.
He needs a raise and a tip.
Enjoy.
This episode had me giggling, it had me giddy, it had me nervous, and it had me anxious. I went through all the emotions because you have, you know, Joey and Kieran going on a date with Lolly. I think Lolly just did that for the sake of it. I think the producers must have been behind the decision. I think they want to try and couple up Connor with someone before they evict him. That's the impression that I get, because it's a bit random to bring her now when all the guys are sort of connected to someone and the only person who's not connected is Connor, because it seems like Ruben has decided to go all guns blazing for Grace. And then, oh my God, Josh is winning me over. Josh is winning me over. I hope he doesn't let me down. I'm normally good at picking couples that will make it the long haul. I remember on the Australian version, I called out Nate and Georgia, and they're still together. So I'm calling Mimii and Josh. I hope nobody sort of separates them, because the cute date, the way his hand is attached to Mimii's bum as though there's a magnet there, or his lips, he can't stop himself from kissing Mimii, and it's like, oh my God, I love this. And Ayo, please leave my girl alone. I've said this countless times. How many times did I tell you? Leave her alone. She has nothing to do with you. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you everyone who subscribed, and let's keep it going. We're trying to get to 2,000. In this episode, I'm trying to review Love Island, season 11, episode 34. Anyway, so the 4 islanders that have been kicked out have left. We didn't get to see their exit interview though, because normally when they leave the villa, they stand there and they talk, and I don't remember seeing that bit, so it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like, I'm going to say this is something that came to my mind yesterday. I feel like because of the bullying allegations that Demonte made about Jess, I think the producers have decided to pull Jess out quickly so that she can defend herself, because once that narrative runs and she stays in the villa, she won't be able to wash it off. That's the only thing I could think of, because her going home, yeah, the fans didn't like her, but it's nice to have someone people can hate in the villa, because if she goes home, who else do people have to hate outside of Sean? Anyway, I digress. So you have, you know, Nicole is crying because Nicole and Jess were very close. Yeah, Jess was there for Mimii. She seemed to have turned a corner, actually. Being in the villa seemed to have been good for Jess, because yes, she was still a mean girl, but she wasn't as mean as she was when she walked in. So getting into the villa and going through what she went through humbled her to some extent. Anyway, you have, you know, the girls sitting on the day beds. You have Jessie with a Y, Grace, Matilda, Mimii, and Nicole sort of talking about, you know, the fact that Jess has gone home, and this is a day 1 girl, so there's only 2 girls left. So I can understand why Mimii and Nicole are upset, because now they know it's either, you know, if a day 1 girl has to go, it's going to be one of them. But I hope they stay till the very end. I hope they're part of the final 3. Anyway, you then have Ayo having a conversation with Jess, you know, saying, you know, we're happy to still be here to explore our connection and stuff. And you can see Ayo's calculating in his head. I think he's trying to he's sort of wondering, why all of a sudden am I in the bottom when I haven't been in the bottom all along? And he sort of said, oh, I think with everything that's happened, I can understand why I would be in the bottom. You can understand. Is this why you're starting to make an apology and trying to make amends? Because you know that the fans are not happy. Somebody must have told him, or you must have got the inkling that the fans are not happy with me for the way I treated Mimii. So let me make amends. That way I can get into the good graces of everyone. I think, nah. He and his, you know, he and his type can go anytime they want. We're really not bothered, because I think I would rather keep Ruben, because Ruben is more lively than Ayo. Yes, Ayo's an OG guy, but it is what it is. You have Ayo speaking to Joey, and so they're having this conversation about the fact that Ayo was vulnerable and Joey was worried, because Joey has been friends with Ayo and Ronnie. So yeah, he's friends with Sean, but I don't think he really values his friendship with Sean like that. So I think Ayo going would have been one of his core 3 going, and so that would be a struggle for him. And I know Kieran would have struggled as well, because he's very close friends with Ayo. So It is what it is. And suddenly, Jesse with a Y and Grace are now the Inspector Gadgets. They're the supervisors of the villa. They are the reassurance team. They're pulling Jess S to the fire pit to say, oh, we just want you to make sure you're a valued member. You're very welcome here. We value your presence. And it's like, please, who asked you? Who told you to say that? Why are you trying to sort of be the spokespeople for the villa? Who made you the representative so everybody else in the villa to sort of give your opinion about how the whole villa feels about this girl? Did she ask you to tell her? Did she ask you for your reassurance? No. So why are we going down this road? Anyway, I don't get it. So you have the guys in the bedroom getting ready for bed and the girls getting ready. And Mimii does say, she was upset, seeing Ayo stand up there because, but this is someone at the end of the day that she saw a connection with, someone she saw a relationship with. So it would be upsetting to see him go. Would she cry and want to live with him? No. The fact that the producers are being very vague, because Nicole asked her, so do you still have any feelings or do you still see anything there with Ayo? Why did they cut it off? Why did we not hear anything? Why did all we hear was Nicole say, I have no opinion about that? Why? And for Ayo to have this conversation and say, oh, Mimii, when she saw me, she was standing up there, she was upset. It wasn't just you standing up there, buddy. Jess was standing up there as well. So she could have been upset for the two of you, that two OG cast members could be potentially going home. And it doesn't mean that she has feelings for you like that. Him having a conversation and telling Joey that he wants both Mimii and Jess, it is what it is. Anyway, all the islanders go to bed. And then I've noticed something. I don't know whether it's just me. Josh, his life in the villa, his existence, his breathing, his sustaining life is controlled by Mimi's lips and Mimi's bottom. If he's not kissing Mimii, he's touching Mimi's bum. And it's like, this guy, he looks very smitten. And I love this for Mimii and I want this to last. Me, I root for love and I'm happy about this. And I hope everyone can find love. Hey, Sean apparently is excited to be going to bed with Matilda. Sean is on my watch list. That's all I'm going to say. Because I really don't like the way he's moving and how Messi is being about Mimii and sort of hiding his hands while he's doing whatever Messi is doing. So in the morning, I love that we don't have debriefs anymore. We don't have everyone sit in a circle and go through the same story 200 times. So I love that they've taken that out. You have Ayo having a conversation with Jess. She is happy that they're still in the villa. He is all over the place. I think I've noticed what Ayo's problem is. Ayo is very indecisive. Ayo just wants to float with the wind. Wherever the wind takes him, he's happy to go there. And this is his problem. This is why he can't make a decision. I think he felt like if one of the girls were eliminated, then he would be fine. So like at the start, when Mimii was vulnerable, he expected her to go home. That way he could focus on Uma. Same thing happened with Jess and Mimii. I think he's always wanted whoever is in a triangle with, one of them to be taken away from him. That way he focuses. That way he doesn't look like the bad guy. Because even in this conversation with Jess, she's trying to sort of suss him out to see, where are you? Do you feel like our connection is growing? Do you see a future with me? Are you happy to still be in the villa with me? Are you happy that we're continuing to work on our connection? And it's like, this man, I don't know really what's going to happen. Mimii, she finally sort of addresses that elephant in the room, the situation that the producers want us to believe that she still has feelings for Ayo. Because during her debrief with Matilda and Nicole, she says, yeah, she was tearful because Ayo and Jess were vulnerable. That is something that she never thought would happen, and so seeing it made her feel some type of way, and she wasn't prepared for that, which is acceptable because these are two people that you've been with for 5 weeks. I am someone with attachment issues. I struggle to let people go, so I understand where she's coming from. I love the fact that you had Josh. He's already planning on what to do for Mimii because his attention to detail is amazing for a guy, in the sense that he's able to pick up on cues with his girl. He is able to focus on her and see what's going wrong and try and come up with a solution, something to make her happy. So he was speaking to Jessie with a Y, and I was surprised because he was saying, I'm trying to do something for Mimii. She's been upset, she was upset when Uma left, and then yesterday when Jess left. And for Jessie with a Y to say, oh yeah, Uma was one of her closest friends, so it's acceptable. So he's decided to sort of plan and make her something to eat, and that was cute. I really loved that. And then before that, you had Jesse with a Y ask Ruben, how are you? How are things going? Because Ruben was initially sort of playing in between Emma and Grace. And now that Emma's out of the equation, he seems to be focusing on Grace. So he made a coffee in the morning. And I think Jesse, with a Y, was trying to suss out, is he still interested in pursuing things with Grace or what? And he was very vague because Ruben said, oh no, I'm just enjoying being in paradise. So seeing him have a conversation with Grace, I love this for Grace. This I love. Because he's single, so she can do whatever she wants. Not her trying to sort of latch onto somebody who's already with somebody else. That I don't like. That I do not like. You have Mimii and Ayo having a conversation. They've always had this banter whereby it's borderline flirty and whatever, and the producers are trying to make it seem like it's now a love square. I don't think it's a love square. I think they all know it's not a love square because Mimii has shut it down. Yes, she's cordial with Ayo, but I don't think romantically she sees anything there, because she said it's very difficult to be in an environment with your ex and his girl and you and your new guy. Which is true, though. It's very difficult for her to sort of navigate that because her new guy is Josh and he, Ayo is now there with his girl. So, yeah, it is uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, that is the world of Love Island. And what do? You just have to deal with it. I love the fact that as soon as Josh stood up, Mimii was up and off she went. Because I think she was just entertaining herself with speaking to Ayo. And for Kieran to say to Ayo, oh, are you still interested? You need to go for it. People need to be real. People need to be honest. Let's stop encouraging stupid. Because this ain't it. Ayo lost his chance. Allow somebody else to take over. Joey was speaking to Josh and sort of asking him, how are you going? And Josh was saying, I think Josh fancied Mimii before he came in, and then getting to see Mimii and getting to know Mimii and speak to Mimii and be around Mimii, he's only fallen. I think this is why at the start he was sort of treading the fence. He didn't want to put his eggs in a basket, and now he's accepted that, yeah, this is where I am, this is where I'm stuck. Because even in the morning he was trying to tell the guys that it was amazing, we moved to the next level, and the guys were asking what happened, and he said, no, a gentleman never tells. And he stopped at that, and I was like, oh my God. If you've been here a while, I'm a hopeless romantic. So the idea that Josh actually went out of his way to plan this for Mimii was amazing. Because we have Ayo making eggs for Jess and then just, pushing the plate towards her. Whereas with Josh has some thought behind whatever he does. When he took Mimii to the hideaway, he made sure he had drinks for her. He made sure the setup was great before he went there. Now he's taken her to the terrace. And I like the fact that whatever he's doing, he's not doing it for the villa or the islanders to see, like for them to sort of say, oh, he's in love or this, that, and the other. He's always making sure that they have a private moment. So for him to, bring along his sidekick Ruben was there for this, and he went into character. He put on his Bridgerton accent and was, a surprise for you, Mimii. It was cute. I like the fact that Matilda was very sly in how she was able to sort of move Mimii from where she was sitting to sort of hide her away from whatever was being prepared for her. And the thought Josh is really winning me. He's really winning a lot of people over, and I love this for Mimii. I really do, because it's nice to see her be in a relationship with someone who's emotionally intelligent and emotionally available for her, who is willing to sort of let her know how he feels and is not vague. He tells her, I really like you. I'm going to put all my eggs in your basket, and this is where I stand. And so she doesn't have to question whether, things are going okay or things are not going okay. She is the one who's actually having to take a step back because she's been hurt by Ayo and she doesn't want to be hurt by the next guy. And this is what they say, what they mean by, if a man likes a woman, he'll do anything and everything for her. And Josh, we've all seen him. He is making sure he's able to express himself verbally to Mimii, to let her know what how he feels. physically he is showing her, he's constantly kissing her. If he's not kissing her, he's touching her bottom. I think there's a magnet in there that keeps pulling his hand there because I don't get why. And I really loved it. I was blushing and I was so shy. I couldn't even watch the whole thing because it was so cute. Oh my God, it made the hopeless romantic in me so giddy and so excited. I love this. I really do. Can we start a petition to vote out Sean, please? I need Sean out. Because Sean and his ways, the way he's really plotting against Mimii, makes me question why. Did he like her? Did she not pay him attention? Is it because she's the only girl who didn't entertain him when he was going through his troubled times before Matilda came in? Make that make sense? Because I really don't get why he's always coming up with these stupid plans to sort of go against Mimii. You have Ayo sitting at the fire pit with Kieran, and Sean is busy saying, you know, I saw you when you're frying eggs, you and Mimii. So he's trying to encourage Mimii to go through hell again with Ayo. We all saw how disrespectful Ayo was. We all saw how badly he treated her. And so for Sean to think it's a good idea to sort of encourage him, I don't get it, because Mimii has a man who is all about her and nobody else. Mimii has a guy who will sit there and watch and observe and see what's going on with her and try and find ways to make it better or to brighten her day. So for Sean to want this thunderous cloud to come over Mimii again, I do not get it. I really don't, and I don't get why he's encouraging that connection. You have Kieran talking about his connection with Nicole, saying that he feels like it's one-sided. He said this in bed the night before. He told her that I feel like we're one-sided. I feel like my feelings for you are way stronger than your feelings for me. And it's like, what did he find out? Why is he suddenly saying that? What have we not been shown? Something must have happened in order for him to think maybe I like this person more than she likes me. I think their problem is Kieran has unconditional love for Nicole, whereas Nicole's love for Kieran is conditional. He shouldn't kiss anyone. He shouldn't talk to any other girls. He shouldn't even show any slightest interest in somebody else. And I think this is their problem. And so for Sean to be giving, you know, positive words and encouragement in that mess and yet be trying to disrupt Mimii doesn't make sense. You have Joey. Joey has really settled down since he coupled up with Jessie with a Y. She's really been good for him. I think the fact that he hasn't known whether she really likes him or not is something that has driven him hard to try and be his best self. So her being, you know, jealous the day before with this kissing challenge and stuff really showed him that actually she does feel him. And hopefully that doesn't make him, you know, turn for the worse, because it seems like the moment girls show him interest, he fades away. If you don't show him interest, he's like a puppy. He's constantly barking at your feet until you pay him attention, and then he turns around and he goes. I love that Mimi's brother Kieran was speaking to Josh and sort of finding out, you know, how are you? How are things going? And Josh was, oh, I really love how things are going with me and Mimii. This is why I'm doing everything I am. And I'm doing it not because she's asking me to, but because I want to do it and I want to make her happy. And then Kieran was like, yeah. And in bed as well, because Kieran, I think, is close to their bed. So he's hearing and he's seeing everything that's going on in that bed. And it's like, you're her brother. You shouldn't be looking that way. You should wear earmuffs. You shouldn't be listening. Whether they're kissing or cuddling, whatever they're doing, you shouldn't pay attention to that. Anyway, Josh receives a text message to say there's going to be a party and everyone is ecstatic. I personally don't even know why the islanders always get excited when they receive a text message about a party, because you know that a party always means trouble. It's either someone is getting dumped or someone is coming in. A party is never just a party, regardless of the fact that you're told it's a party. You know that a massacre is about to happen. And so they're all excited. They get ready. You know, everybody looks amazing. There's the dancing and the couples. Mimii and Josh exist in their own little world. Everybody's just a guest, but they are in their little world. I loved their little cute dance scenes, even though they were chopped and, you know, chopped and moved and chopped and moved and stuff. Everyone was happy. And then, you know, after the dancing, everybody went off to their camps to sit down and just relax and have conversations. And you have Joey, you know, going through his pictures with Jessie with a Y. I always call her Jessie with a Y. And so a text message comes in to say Lolly wants to go on a date with 3 guys. And the first guy is Joey. And it's like, come on. Karma. You were pushing for Grace to pursue Josh, saying that Josh is open. Well, Joey is open. He didn't say he's closed off. So unless the two of you are closed off, he's ready. And the fact that he jumped up and seemed excited, Joey's a fool. Now that he knows that he's got Jesse with a Y on the hook, he's going to be looking at Lolly to see what exactly what's happening there. And if he likes what he sees, well, then poor, Jesse with a Y is in trouble. And she knows it. She really does know it. And I'm surprised at the fact that Lolly decided to go for first off with someone who's in a couple. One would have expected her to go for someone who is single, because there are two guys that are single. You have Ruben. Yes, he's exploring something with Grace, but then you also have Connor. Connor is, has lived 1,000 lives. He's a cat with 1,000 lives, because in the recouplings, he's never had a strong connection. He reminds me of Messy Mitch, but he's not messy. He's just there under the radar, and he's just managing to stay in the villa for as long as he has. No storyline, no messy scenario, no argument, nothing. And he's just there, he's chilling, and it seems everybody likes him. I don't like his beef with Mimii, the sarcastic little comments he was making about her, but hey, it is what it is. In today's review, I'm very giggly. I'm sorry. So first to go for the date is Joey. Joey was trying to be on his best behavior. I think one of two things. I think Joey has feelings for Jesse with a Y, or the fact that she's a PR, or she's in some sort of PR situation at work. That could be the other reason why he really likes her and is really trying to be on his best behavior, because I think she says she's a marketing manager, or she's a brand manager, or something like that. So because I don't get how he's changed suddenly, how he's a new man, because even Lolly brought it up that, since you've coupled up with Jesse with a Y, you are a completely different man. You're not as cheeky, you're not moving about as mad as you were before. And he says, yeah, because I have to be respectful. And it's like, there's more to this. We need to study this, because Joey's transformation is something that we all don't talk about a lot. And he's a new man. He's more well-behaved. He's more reserved. He's more sort of measured in what he says or what he does. He used to be messy. He used to be, winding people up in the villa. And suddenly all that has gone out the window. You have Jessie with a Y on the outside. She is panicking. She is panicking because she doesn't understand why this girl chose Joey, and she doesn't have a leg to stand on. And I like the fact that she actually called it karma, because yes, it is karma for her, in the sense that she came in and she took someone who was coupled up with somebody else. So this is karma sort of hitting her. Yeah, Grace tried to be the bigger person and sit down with her and have a conversation, but still you could tell Jessie was panicking. They were trying to decipher, the hideaway. What are they doing in the hideaway? Why are they having a date in the hideaway and stuff? And it's like, well, because they want the privacy. That's it. That's the only reason why they've gone on this date. They want the privacy, and they want the suspense, and they want you to panic. That's why. Joey then comes out, and you can see Grace is shaken, because she wants to know what's going on. What is it? And Joey just comes and says, she's from Leicester. She's got blonde hair. And you could see this just made things worse for Jesse with a Y. And then for Joey to go into the kitchen area and start speaking to Ayo before he spoke to her just wound her up even more. And now we're seeing her character, because she's been very reserved. She's just been sort of like a very robotic. You'd see her sitting there with Joey, or you'd see her sitting there with the girls and barely saying anything. The first time I think I actually heard her say something was when there was this conversation about Grace going after Josh. And so surprisingly, now she's coming out of her shell. Now she's got the voice to sort of tell Joey what's what. I can't wait to see that conversation. Anyway, the next guy in is Connor, which is amazing for him. It's really amazing, because he doesn't have anyone he's interested in. So he's just a third wheel to any connection that's there in the villa. And I love Jess. She's something else. Her immaturity at times is cute, and it can be endearing to people, and I think this is one of the things Ayo likes about her, because she then started checking you. Okay, let's check you out first. Let's check your nose to make sure that you don't have any boogers, and then she had to smell him to make sure that he smelled great. And it's like, oh, she is looking out as a little sister. That was cute. So I think their date was cute. I think if she has to choose someone to recouple with, Connor is her best bet. Yes, the chances of them going home are highly likely, are highly likely, I don't say that lightly, are highly likely because they're a new couple and Connor hasn't had the storyline. So he's been there, we've seen him there, but Ruben, who came in the other day, is more popular with the fans or has more of a storyline than he does. So I don't know whether that would be a good idea to couple. The only problem is everybody else is secure in their couples. Everybody else is secure in the couples. So I don't know who else she can choose. Anyway, for the drama, she chooses Kieran as her last date. And it's like, why? Even Connor was taken aback. Like, why? Why are you trying to wind up Nicole? I think the producer set this up. When Kieran was told you at the third date, you could see by the look on his face that he was concerned. He was very concerned. And for Nicole to roll her eyes and go, why? And it's like, well, my dear, you can't tie this man down. You're about to leave the villa soon. And when you leave the villa, other girls are going to be interested in him. What are you going to do? Are you going to chase everyone away? This is what I said. She's going to end up putting a kettlebell around his neck so that she knows wherever he is. Because I don't get why. Anyway, when Kieran was going to the hideaway, someone, I think it was, who was it? I think it was Ruben who shouted, good luck. And then he went, yeah, I'll need it. But I don't need it going in, I need it coming out, because he knows that Nicole is going to kick off and it's going to be a whole, performance whereby he has to grovel, he has to beg as though he's the one who chose himself. When he got in, we barely had the conversation. I think she was just sort of trying to have a one-on-one with him, sort of like for him to sort of debrief and sort of reflect on his situation with Nicole, because he is questioning whether she feels about him the same way he feels about her. So I understand where Lolly's coming from. I don't know whether Kieran is able to appreciate that and understand that. With Jessie with a Y, oh, her bad side is starting to come out. She is Nicole, who has been managing to hide herself all throughout, and we've all thought, oh, she's sweet, she's caring, she's this and that. Because when she sat down with Joey, she started bombarding him with questions. Why didn't you come and see me as soon as you left the hideaway? I was the first person you should have seen. You shouldn't have gone. And it's like, please, it's not that deep. It really is not that deep. You could see him walking around. It's not like he went somewhere and he was celebrating. He was just discussing the date. And I think he was trying to find a way of how do I tell you everything that's happened without offending you or without causing you any pain. So for her to start kicking off, I didn't get it. I didn't get why she was kicking off, really, because it's not that deep. It really is not that deep. There's no need for her to be kicking off and sort of throwing tantrums and everything else. Joey is going to get the ick soon. He's going to get the ick, because if she puts on a Nicole performance, Joey's going to get the ick and is going to leave her, and I don't blame him. I can't wait to see the fallout of the dates. And apparently the girl was disrespectful, and it's like, how is she disrespectful? Or why did she bring me up that I've changed? Joey has changed. We all can see Joey has changed. If people are saying they can't see that Joey's changed, then they're lying, because he has changed. He's a new man from the time he coupled up with Jessie with a Y. And for her not to see that and understand that doesn't make sense. Oh, but I didn't discuss your connection with Grace. Well, just because you didn't doesn't stop anyone else. And she didn't say it in a bad way. She just said you've changed, and I don't know whether it's good or bad, but it's something that he needs to reflect on. Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 33. Bye guys.